your home for over 17 years of horse racing action. The Sport of Kings, featuring Tommy Walski. On today's show, we have a very special treat for horse racing fans in Canada as we look at 2 decades of racing at Woodbine. And now here he is, BC's ambassador to horse racing, Mr. Tommy Walski.
Hello everybody and welcome once again to this edition of the Sport of Kings, and it is a special edition of the show as we look back at unforgettable moments from Canadian thoroughbred horse racing history. The footage you're about to watch was provided by Woodbine Entertainment. It was produced by Rob Platt. Once again, sit back, relax, and enjoy with limited commercials.
One single-day event defined 1996 for Woodbine Racetrack. This event helped to showcase the facility in its 40th year of operation. On October 26, 1996, the magic of Woodbine was introduced to the racing world. While millions of race fans tuned into the broadcasts of the race, almost 42,000 crammed into the Toronto facility. Not only was this the first time that Woodbine hosted such a prestigious event, it was the first time that bleacher seating was erected at Woodbine to handle a large crowd. It was also a day of firsts for the Breeders' Cup. This was the first time that a racetrack had to be dyed a different color for television coverage. It was the first time the race's entry conditions were challenged when Rick's Natural Star finished well behind the field in the Breeders' Cup turf, and it was the first time that a female trainer won a Breeders' Cup race. The world watched in awe as Janine Sahadi led Lita Justice to the winner's circle for the Breeders' Cup sprint.
Lita Justice, a gray blur in the stretch. It's Lita Justice, the last to first winner of the sprint.
That day was also the day that Woodbine experienced the dominance of D. Wayne Lucas. The future Hall of Fame trainer came into the Breeders' Cup that year with a total of 10 starters. In the end, it was Boston Harbor and jockey Jerry Bailey who brought Lucas a win in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, a win that helped cement an Eclipse Award for the colt later that year. October 26th was a day of emotion. After suffering a near-fatal spill earlier in the year, jockey Walter Swinburne was overcome with joy after winning the Breeders' Cup turf with 13-1 starter Pilsudski.
And also I dedicate this to my parents who, without their support, this day wouldn't have been possible.
That day in 1996 also marked a sad occasion, as an equine superstar chose Woodbine as the site for his final race. When the gate opened in the Breeders' Cup Classic, a crowd of 42,000 stood to watch the heavily favored Cigar. Hoping for a repeat of the previous year's event, the crowd cheered the champion on, as the final furlong was a 4-way battle that resulted in the closest finish of the day. At the wire, it was Alphabet Soup who prevailed by a nose over Preakness winner Louis XIV, leaving Cigar to finish third by a head. Though he was denied a final victory, Cigar was still the belle of the ball, leaving his fans with one of the most memorable stretch battles ever waged at Woodbine.
Cigar, the heart of a champion, trying to get him. It's Alphabet Soup. Cigar on the outside. Louis XIV. Alphabet Soup has scored a shocking upset. Cigar has been denied another victory in the Breeders' Cup Classic.
Another Breeders' Cup had come and gone. But this time, history was made on Canadian soil as Woodbine proved itself worthy of inclusion among the top racetracks in North America.
In the 13 cups that I've been to, and we've had multiple injuries in all of them, I don't think we have ever been treated better. I don't think anybody has ever done a better job in the 13 cups prior to this one. I openly and publicly say to you, I think this is the best job anybody's done.
1997, a year that witnessed the birth of the incomparable Woodbine Mile. A year where a rhythmic name made track announcing oh so fun. And when 2 other legends each carved out their own brilliant place in Canadian racing history. In a visionary move, Woodbine exploited one of its key assets in '97, the world-renowned 8B Taylor Turf Course, to launch a new era with a new race, the Woodbine Mile. Open to 3-year-olds and up, the Woodbine Mile was designed to lure top international runners, while also serving as a key prep for the Breeders' Cup Mile. In its inaugural running, Gentleman, the top handicap horse in North America, ventured to Toronto with his trainer singing the praises of the local lawn.
But you couldn't find a finer turf course than this one at Woodbine. It's as good as I've ever seen in my life.
With a buzz in the air and Gary Stevens up, Gentleman went postward as the heavy favorites. But the Argentine bred got bogged down inside. That allowed the Bill Mott-trained Jerry, guided by the late Chris Antley, to kick in and score in the first ever Woodbine Mile.
And Jerry is closing out in the center of the course. Jerry is flying out there. Gentleman's back in fourth. On the outside, Jerry wins the Woodbine Mile.
Jerry gave further validation of his Woodbine win in the Breeders' Cup Mile, where he went on to run a game second. Also campaigning at Woodbine in '97 was a multiple stakes winning mare with one of the more unique names ever heard in these parts.
Woomaloo or Santa Amelia Woomaloo wins the dance smartly.
Past Greats found a permanent home in '97 as the newly renovated Canadian Horse Racing Hall of Fame opened to rave reviews. Located at the west entrance of Woodbine, the hall offers an elegant setting where Canada's racing legends live on forever. With Queen Elizabeth present, a future legend had his own coming-out party, as Frank Stronach's Awesome Again with Mike Smith up scored as the punctual favorites in the '97 Queen's Plate.
And Awesome Again would not be denied his place in history. He wins the Queen's Plate.
The son of Canadian super sire Deputy Minister encored brilliantly the next year, winning the '98 Breeders' Cup Classic.
Awesome Again has won!
Finally, 1997 was the year of the Chief, as Canada's own Chief Bearhart won a slew of awards, including the Eclipse Award as top turf horse.
And here comes the Chief. The Chief is rolling and on the leaders in a flash.
Using his patented sweeping move, the Chief teamed up with jockey Jose Santos to earn a classy diploma in the Canadian International.
And put a grade 1 feather in the cap of Canada's Chief Bearhart. He wins the Canadian International.
From there, the Samson Farms charge shipped to Hollywood Park for the Breeders' Cup Turf.
He was always a horse that was a bit of a handful to get the tack on anyway until you got him out there and going with the pony, but at Hollywood he was exceptionally bad and was trying to throw himself on the ground in the tunnel, and he made it very difficult to saddle, but he came away unscathed and ran a race of his life.
Canada's Chief Bearhart charging on the outside. In between horses, Chief Bearhart and Borgia flying at the rail. Here's the line. Chief Bearhart has won.
Though he took the overland route, Chief Bearhart covered the 12-panel route in a Breeders' Cup record 2:23 4/5, a mark that still stands. The Chief's win was especially gratifying for the Samuel family, as Father Ernie watched the Chiefs triumph back home in Toronto while recovering from an illness.
It's got to be such a special moment for your dad.
It is. I would imagine that probably the screaming we heard was Dad from home.
And Archer's Bay has taken the lead as they come to the final 16th for Kent DeSormo, winning the plate with Archer's Bay.
After Eugene Melnick's Archer's Bay took the 139th edition of the Queen's Plate in 1998, there was already speculation that the brown son of Silver Deputy would skip the third jewel of Canada's Triple Crown, the Breeders' Stakes, regardless of where he finished in the Prince of Wales. Sure enough, on August 16th, after taking the first 2 legs of Canada's Triple Crown, Archer's Bay skipped the Breeders' Stakes after winning both the Plate and the Prince of Wales, leaving the door open for Pinafore Park to capture the 1.5-mile victory.
And the filly has taken the lead. It is Pinafore Park in front, and Pinafore Park, the filly, manhandles the males to win the Breeders' Stakes.
After conquering the dirt oval at Woodbine in the Queen's Plate aboard Archer's Bay, superstar jockey Kent DeSormo later returned to try his hand at glory on the E.P. Taylor turf. Aboard second-choice Labib for trainer Neil Drysdale, DeSormo rallied the son of Lear fan from the back of the pack to catch French invader Jim Antonic at the wire.
And you get that I'm going to win feeling, you know, you start feeling light on your feet and really excited. And as we approached the wire, maybe 100 yards out, I asked him for his life, and he just exploded.
Labib runs after Jim Antonic from the outside, down to these two. Here is the finish. Here is the wire. Labib, and a spectacular photo finish.
The adrenaline pump, the thrill of victory, as we all say, and it's just glad to be here.
Also in 1998, after 6,449 trips to the winner's circle, Sandy Hawley hung up his tack for the final time, retiring where his storied career began.
Kind of mixed emotions, you know, I'm going to miss the riding part, I'm going to miss the thrills, but I'm not going to miss the spills. But I am going to miss coming down the stretch, and those stretch duels, whether you win, lose, or draw, it's just an exciting sport to be in. But I am looking forward to moving on.
Later in '98, Sandy was rewarded for that career as he was inducted into Canada's Sports Hall of Fame. Woodbine announced a plan for $10 million in renovations, including a new paddock, jock's room, and an impressive new main entrance. Defending champ Chief Bearheart could not catch Royal Anthem, ridden by Gary Stevens in the 61st running of the Canadian International.
Chief Bearheart is kicking in on the far outside, but his Royal Anthem got away on him. It is Royal Anthem leading it by 2.5. One last desperate push from the Chief, but England's Royal Anthem wins the Canadian International.
And last but not least, 1997 Queen's Plate winner Awesome Again ventured from Woodbine to Churchill Downs with a perfect record for the year on the line to face 9 in the Breeders' Cup Classic. It was a field that included 97 Classic winner Skip-Away, Kentucky Derby winner Silver Charm, and Swain, the best horse in Europe.
That was an all-star cast. I don't recall ever, in the course of my 32-year career, seeing a field of horses as deep in quality as that field.
But Awesome Again would not disappoint, rallying in the final moments in one of the most memorable classics in Breeders' Cup history.
Awesome Again has won!
Nob Hill Farm, Thornfield, 18-1, the longest shot on the board. What a thriller.
Nob Hill Stables had scored some of Canadian racing's biggest upsets, with Ben Verb winning the Prince of Wales Stakes and the Molson Export Million back in 1992. And in 1999,
gaining ground with every stride, here comes Thornfield.
Hometown hero Thornfield, entering as the longest shot on the board, won the Canadian International for owner Steve Scarborough, trainer Phil England, and jockey Richard Dos Ramos.
Sensational win here, Thornfield the upset winner.
Well, it's a great feeling for us. It's the home team. We managed to keep the money in Canada. We're really happy.
A one-horse wrecking crew. He's going to win the Queen's Plate.
This impressive gray woodcarver pulled off a stunning 5-length victory in the 1999 Queen's Plate. The victory gave ecstatic owner Gus Schickedance, trainer Mike Keogh, and jockey Mickey Walls their first plate score and dreams of a Triple Crown run. But it was filly sensation Gandria who finished second in the plates that would later turn the tables on the son of Woodman, nipping him in the final strides of the second leg of Canada's Triple Crown.
Who's it going to be in the Prince of Wales? It is her. It is Gandria. She defeats Woodcarver.
Sunday, August 15th, 1999 will forever be remembered by Canadian racing fans as Ladies' Day.
Free Vacation trying to hold on. And on the far outside, there's American Falcon, but Free Vacation, the filly, wins the Breeders' Stakes.
Free Vacation, a 15-1 long shot and the only filly in a 13-horse field, along with jockey Lori Goulas, beat the boys in the 109th edition of the Breeders' Stakes. Free Vacation also took female turf horse honors that year, and Lori Goulas became the first female rider ever to win a Canadian Triple Crown race.
What happened, I was in a race and a horse come by me real quick. He come in very slightly, enough for my horse to clip his heels. Down I went, all I seen was ground coming at me, and woke up in the hospital the next day. It was about, God, a good 2.5, 3 weeks before they found out that I broke my neck. And I was in and out of hospitals, and x-ray after x-ray, they couldn't find nothing, but I could hear the crunching in my neck. I feel myself getting all numb and, weak, and I called my wife. I said, get me back to the hospital, something else wrong. I could feel everything just getting numb everywhere, and I was getting pretty scared for my life, basically. The following day, they did the operation, and they said they didn't know if it was going to be successful or not, but they did all kinds of tests on me, and I couldn't feel my feet. I couldn't feel my whole upper body. I could feel my hands and my hands a bit, but they were numb as heck. And I was pretty scared, and they said, Mr. Lauzon, we're sorry, but we don't know if you'll ever walk again. And them words just set me back. I said, there's no way. I'm an athlete, I'm a professional. There's no way this could happen to me, and I was determined to get back.
Jack Lauzon, and that's his secret. They got the job done.
On May 8th, 1999, almost 33 months to the day he had his accident, Jack Lauzon defied the odds.
It was nice to be on the horses and to be out there racing again. And then to win your first one all over again, it was just like winning my first race. I mean, it was exciting and thrilling for me.
And finally, 1999 heralded the birth of the new $1 million Adel Mile. Favorite Hawksley Hill and Canadian hopeful Quiet Resolve were among North America's top turf specialists, ready to kick off the new event on the famed E.P. Taylor turf. But it was a controversial finish to the race that stole the headlines.
It's going to be a tight one. Hawksley Hill in a thriller.
Although Hawksley Hill had crossed the wire first, it was Rob Landry and Longshot Quiet Resolve who went into the record books as the $1 million winner, after Pat Day and Hawksley Hill were disqualified from first and placed fourth.
Don't go away. The Sport of Kings. We'll be right back.
That brings us to the new millennium. As clocks and calendars approach double zeros, the world and the Ontario racing industry look to the future with a sense of trepidation. With government casinos now a reality and the lottery industry booming, Woodbine had to do something to ensure they could move forward in this new gaming landscape. And they did. Woodbine's marriage of racing and slots became the blueprint for successful racetrack operations across Ontario. And on the track, the new millennium gave rise to more world-renowned racing superstars that got their start at Woodbine.
The year Y2K was an extraordinary year of change and accomplishment at Woodbine Racetrack. In March of 2000, Woodbine witnessed the birth of a new era with the grand opening of its slots facility, featuring 1,700 slot machines on the first floor.
Brand new customers, about 100,000 customers a week coming to Woodbine Racetrack, not because of racing initially, but because of the fact that there are slot machines here.
And as expected, the marriage between racing and slots has proven to be a win-win situation for everyone involved.
That type of meaningful gaming business has brought a significant increase in purses. Since that time, purses have doubled. Many customers who first came here because of slot machines have become fans of racing, and that really is what the program was all about. So it all began in the year 2000, and let's hope it'll continue for a very long time.
It's been a great career. I could never knock it. I made a lot of friends, and a lot of enemies too, but more friends.
After a glorious 35 years in the saddle, Hall of Fame rider Robin Platts decided to call it a career. And what a career! In addition to riding at racetracks all over the globe, the native of Leicester, England, truly distinguished himself at Woodbine. The ultra-competitive Platts rode numerous stakes winners, en route to winning over 3,200 races, including a record-tying 4 Queen's Plates. The magnificent E.P. Taylor Turf Course played host to a trio of outstanding turf races in 2000 that featured electrifying finishes.
We're coming down to the finish. A hold your breath finish. Riviera outnods Arcadian Hero to win the Adel Mile. Fly for Avies coming on now. 3 of them coming to the wire in a dramatic photo finish. Innuendo waiting upstage. Fly for Avies throw a blanket over them in the E.P. Taylor Stakes.
And terrific sportsmanship as well, as Patrick Husbands and Frankie Dettori dueled to the wire in the 2000 Canadian International.
Williams News has taken the lead for Patrick Husbands, but they're running
And up to this day, I would go to my grave saying I win that race, you know, but to say pictures don't tell lies, but I feel from my heart that picture tells lies, you know.
Finally, the year 2000 also saw the passing of legendary owner, breeder, and Hall of Fame builder Ernie Samuel. Mr. Samuel's outstanding legacy includes having been the first Canadian owner to capture Breeders' Cup races with Dance Smartly in 1991 and Chief Bearheart in '97. Samuel also won an Eclipse Award in '91 as top owner and was awarded the Order of Canada in 1998. It was only fitting then in 2000 for his Samson Farm stable to completely dominate at Woodbine. In addition to campaigning Horse of the Year Quiet Resolve, Samson also won the Canadian Oaks.
Here comes Catch the Ring. One final acceleration. Catch the Ring on the money. Beats her entry mate Mountain Angel to win the Oaks.
As well as the Queen's Plate.
And here comes Scatter the Gold. Scatter the Gold. The maiden wins the Queen's Plate.
A triumph that was dedicated appropriately to the man who left his outstanding imprint on Canadian racing.
This one's for Mr. Samuel, so it's kind of emotional right now, but Mr. Samuel, congratulations.
Gut-wrenching photo finish in the Adel Mile.
Stellar performances, rising stars, monumental upsets, new beginnings headlined Woodbine for 2 spectacular seasons of racing in 2001 and 2002. With the popularity of slot machines, the Ontario Jockey Club emerged as a leader in Canada's entertainment industry. 2001 marked the beginning of Woodbine Entertainment, fronted by new chairman, president, and CEO David Wilmot.
One final acceleration. Dance Through the Dawn, trying to hold on for 70 more yards. Like her mother, like her brother. Dance Through the Dawn.
By taking the 142nd running of the Queen's Plate, Dance Through the Dawn echoed the achievement made by her mother, Dance Smartly, 10 years earlier, and her brother, Scatter the Gold, the year before. It would be the first time full siblings would win back-to-back plates. In the closest 3-horse finish in the history of the Adel Mile, Canadian bred numerous times and Patrick Husbands nosed American Invader Firm Success and Canadian Quiet Resolve in the 2001 edition.
Ready to set down a Good Journey.
The following year, Good Journey and jockey Pat Day scored a 1-length victory over 55-1 long shot Chapanina, the only filly in the field of 13. The win allowed Day to reclaim the title after losing it 3 years earlier when his Mount Hawksley Hill was placed 4th for rider interference.
Good Journey was brilliant this afternoon to win the Adel Mile.
Bug rider Chantel Sutherland galloped her way to the top to become the country's top apprentice jockey in 2001.
It's always been a dream to be a pro athlete, whether it was field hockey or riding horses, and I'm happy that I chose horses.
With 124 wins under her belt and purse earnings of almost $6 million, Sutherland capped off her 2002 campaign with a second straight Sovereign Award. 2002 also marked the debut of another champion, as future Triple Crown winner Wando kick-started his outstanding career by taking both the Vandal and Grey Breeders' Cup Stakes.
Here comes Wando. Migliori calls on him and he blows by Gigawatt. It is Wando in the final 16th of a mile, and Canada has a Breeders' Cup 2-year-old, and his name is Wando. He wins the Grey Breeders' Cup, and he does it impressively.
Finally, 2002 saw the second biggest upset in the 143 runnings of the Queen's Plate.
TJ's Lucky Moon at outrageous odds. He wins the Queen's Plate at 80-1.
TJ's Lucky Moon won by 3/4 of a length over a charging Anglian Prince. This would be the first plate win for both jockey Steve Bann and trainer Vito Armada, and showcased one of the most jubilant winner's circle celebrations Woodbine has ever seen.
Woodbine jockeys dominated the headlines in 2003 and 2004, along with a couple of other astounding equine accomplishments.
If this is what you want.
Veteran rider Todd Cable was by far the star. In 2003, he was the first jockey in Canada to reach $10 million in purse earnings, the leading rider with 160 wins, 29 of them stakes races, and a Sovereign Award as Canada's top jockey.
Thank you very much.
In 2004, Todd Cable becomes leading rider once again, with over $10 million in purse earnings and another Sovereign Award. But this time there was one more accomplishment that would put him in the news more than any other, equaling an almost 4-decade-old record held by Avelino Gomez.
Cable does it. He equals Gomez's 36 stakes victories.
My father had passed away, and before he passed away, he asked me to pick up my act and make the family proud, and I said I would, and I honored my word, and went on to achieve that for him, and we won a Sovereign Award, and like I say, I dedicated it to him, and I wasn't going to let him down. So it was a very emotional year and a strong year.
If these exploits weren't enough, 2003 actually could have been a bigger year for the native of McCreary, Manitoba, had he made a different decision.
The last time that Mike Keogh paddocked Wando in the paddock, I felt I had made the wrong decision, and wishing that I could still make the change, but I knew I couldn't.
Owner Gus Schickadans and trainer Mike Keogh were in the enviable position of having two of the top horses in the 2003 Queen's Plate, Mobile and Wando. When Todd Cable chose Mobile, it was Patrick Husbands who got the call on the homebred son of Langfure, and it was Husbands who got to experience something only a lucky few could ever imagine.
And the Triple Crown champion, Wando, was better than wonderful this afternoon. He was magnificent.
There was another veteran rider who made headlines in 2003-2004. After 22 years in the saddle, Robert Landry was given the prestigious Avelino Gomez Memorial Award in '03. But it was the next year that the hometown Toronto boy finally got to experience the moment all Canadian jockeys dream of.
Dreams can come true. Ligon and Robert Landry, they win the Queen's Plate.
Not to be forgotten, veteran James McKnight capturing his 3,000th career victory at age 51. And Francine Villeneuve becoming the first woman to ever win the Avelino Gomez Memorial Award. Finally, a group of 5 equine stars made headlines in 2004 when 5 Woodbine track records fell within a span of 39 days. The biggest coming from 2004 Horse of the Year, Soaring Free, who not only set a stakes record in the Addo Mile, but also put his name into the North American record books with a new mark of 119-1 for 7 furlongs on the turf.
Well, that's it for this edition of the Sporting Kings. And once again, on behalf of everyone here, we would like to say thank you for allowing us to spend this last half hour with you on this Saturday morning. One thing to leave you with: next week, 1 week from today, live horse racing comes back to Hastings Race Course. Remember to keep them straight, or we are going to get you on that final turn.